Not matching negative energy and knowing when to walk away because there's a big difference between being patient and being out of alignment. Peace, chosen ones. Happy Owl Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well. This is the Mystic Owl speaking, and today I want to speak about not matching negative energy, knowing when to walk away. Because matching of negative energy is what's keeping a lot of us stuck in situations that we were meant to outgrow months to years ago. Because when you're dealing with someone or a situation and you feel your frequency starting to shift, or like you have to shrink yourself, that's your spirit signaling you that, hey, there's some kind of misalignment going on here. And being a high vibe person doesn't mean that you have to absorb everything. The most spiritual thing you can do is recognize when your own personal energy is under attack and being compromised in any way, shape, or form. Because if you find yourself constantly adjusting your light, your energy, I struggled with this as well, just so someone else doesn't feel dim or less than, or even if you're mirroring their chaos just to get a point across, you are not being patient. This is not spiritual alignment. If anything, you're being drained. There is a massive difference between holding space for someone's growth and just holding on to a connection that has clearly already expired. And we've all been there trying to make it work or work through it because we value loyalty and safety. But true alignment does not feel like a constant uphill battle with someone else's shadow. They themselves need to do their own spiritual work, more than likely starting with shadow work. The moment you start to match someone's negative energy is the exact moment that you start giving your own personal power away. Because in situations like this, sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all, is to completely remove yourself and your energy away from that person and away from that situation. And it's not about being too good for people, it's about being committed to your own peace, being committed to your own boundaries, and not letting anyone, regardless of title, especially family, pull you out of character. I had to learn that walking away isn't an act of defeat, it's really just sacred preservation. And you don't have to announce your exit, and you don't have to prove why they're wrong or why you're right. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to realize that your time and your peace and your respect are non negotiables. And when you stop matching low level, low vibrational energies, that's when you will finally be able to clear the air and space for things that actually resonate with your soul and your frequency. And you'll be able to trust that knowing in your gut. You'll be able to trust yourself the first time. And when it comes to relationship dynamic with anyone, friends, family, coworkers, your alignment is your only responsibility within these connections, and everything else is just background noise. If they're disrespectful, background noise, remove yourself. If they're condescending, background noise, remove yourself. The example that I'm going to give is familiar to a lot of people, especially myself, and it's the topic of family. Like, when a family member keeps bringing up your past or poking at your insecurities, belittling you, humbling you, whatever the case may be, instead of defending your growth, which it's not that they aren't ready to see it, they just refuse to see it because they themselves have not grown in the way in which they desire, you just excuse yourself. It's not worth the back and forth. It's not worth trying to prove yourself. I personally let people think whatever about me, right or wrong, good or bad, left or right. I don't even care. There have been so many rumors about me over the years. I'll be 34 next week. So I've experienced a lot of rumors, a lot of smear campaigns, and I want to say somewhere like in the 90th percentile, I have not responded to any of them. at least not directly. And I would never, because that's exactly what these people want. They want a piece of your divine energy, but that's not the way they get it from us. The only way a person can get a piece of my divine energy is by respecting me, and that's a non negotiable. And respect is a two-way street. So, of course, I have to respect them as well. But that's not the issue here. Me giving respect is not the issue. It's me receiving the respect is the issue. And that's what I don't put up with anymore. I tolerated it for a long time. I don't put up with that anymore. When we match negative energy, we're essentially agreeing to play a character, probably a clown, in the other person's play. And that's not who we are. That's not what we do. That's what misalignment feels like. Is that tightness in your chest, that ick feeling in your gut. We don't do that. I spent a lot of time wishing, hoping, and some of that time even trying to explain my growth to people who were only committed to seeing some type of 10-year-old little girl version of me, which I personally think is weird. But it's also exhausting. So this new cycle is not a season of proving, it's a season of being, if anything, being and doing. And the moment I stopped trying to prove that I had changed, the need to match energy in any capacity completely disappeared for me. Because, it's a saying, when they go low, you go high. I don't do that. I just leave. Honestly, I just leave. When they go low, either I'm about to get into verbal altercation with this person, which I highly do not recommend, or I'm just going to leave. There are many reasons as to why I choose to leave, to walk away, to disengage, even when I feel disrespected. And I think the main reasons are, for one, my peace. I am so overprotective of my peace. It's not even funny. And the next reason would be just my energy in general, because I know if I get into a shouting match or a disagreement or let this person know how they've been mean, nasty, rude, or disrespectful, they're going to take some offense to it, even though they're the offender. And now my energy is compromised, especially if there's a disagreement. Arguing just raises your blood pressure. It causes wrinkles. It makes you feel like crap afterwards. It's just literally not even worth it. What is worth it is me walking away being calm, peaceful, beautiful, and spiritual. And walking away doesn't always mean like moving across the country or anything like that. I mean, sometimes it can be that. It can be physically moving, but my walking away is an internal movement. It's the moment that I decided their opinion of my life carries zero weight in my reality. That's it. And when you decide that, that's when you stop the energetic tug of war. Like the game is over. Because when you carry a certain energy, when you walk in a certain energy, there are going to be people who want a piece of that energy by any means necessary. And it's not always in a good way. It's not always in a kind, polite, or respectful way. They'll take your energy however they can get it, including being mean, nasty, rude, disrespectful, all up in your business, nosy, gossiping, you name it. However, they can get access to your energy, that's what they'll do. And this is why I am so overprotective of my peace, of my time, of my energy. At this point, I don't care who the other person is, family included. You don't owe anyone your misery as a down payment for their love and their respect. I put up with a lot of that too. I put myself on the back burner. I dimmed my light just to keep the peace. And that's why today I don't care about keeping the offender's peace. I only care about keeping my peace. I only care about keeping my peace because I'm peaceful anyway. I'm peaceful in general, but my peace comes first because the offender is already in some kind of turmoil or chaos. They are not at peace because a person at peace is not going to attempt to take away another person's peace. That's not how that works. One saying that does ring true is that misery loves company, and chaotic people, miserable people, they kind of love and hate people who have found some type of peace, some type of clarity or understanding over their life and their situation. But that's not our problem. Your alignment is your only true responsibility. And the people who truly resonate with you, your soul, your soul's purpose, your spiritual gifts, your spiritual path, those people will never ask you to compromise it because they've done the work. They've had a dark night of the soul. They've done the shadow work. They continue to do the shadow work. They continue to heal because it's an ongoing process, non-linear ongoing process. That's what healing is, and it never stops. So a person who has done the work can recognize another person who has done the work. And it's nothing but love and respect when you come across those people. Make those people the people who are a part of your circle, your spiritual circle. If you stay to the end, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to tune into next week's Our Wisdom Wednesday for more spiritual guidance and insight. And as always, speak life over yourself, take care of yourself, love yourself, trust yourself, and protect yourself. I love you, chosen ones. Peace.